Have you ever been having a good game until, boom, you get blown up? Or you've been driving and trying to have a good game and then you face something like this? Those are some of the few ways players suffer in War Thunder. We checked heavy tanks in the last video and now it's time for tank destroyers. Tank destroyers are very diverse. There are light tank destroyers, medium ones, and then there are the heavy ones. All of them have crazy firepower, but some favor speed, while others favor armor. You have tank destroyers that are very fast and agile, but have no armor, while others have very thick armor, but are much slower. There are so many tank destroyers in the game, and I will rank 100 of them. And I wanted to do all of them, but the video is gonna be very long, so I'm gonna do part 1 today, and we're gonna rank them based on how fun and effective they are in the game, with a focus on their firepower, armor, and mobility. And quick disclaimer, these rankings reflect my personal opinion and experience with these tank destroyers. If I put your favorite tank in the F tier and you disagree with me, feel free to drop down a comment below, but remember, everyone's experience is different. Okay, let's kick things off with 1.0 where we have 12 tanks. First tank on the list is the French AMR 35 ZT3. This little tank destroyer is very fast and agile, but it has pretty weak armor and the cannon is unreliable. It has only 2 crew members, so if one gets shot, you're done. F tier. The StuG.Kav.Corps. This half-tracked armored personnel carrier has a decent firepower and 5 crew members, making it slightly more survivable despite having no armor. While it has a good top speed, its maneuverability suffers due to the half-track design. So C tier. The StuH Panzer II. This SPG is very fun to play with. It has a big HE round that can even work in higher BRs. It also has a hit round for more penetration, but it has a very long reload, especially at low tier, and pretty much no armor, but you can make up for it with its decent mobility. It is really fun, especially at higher BRs. A tier. The SU-51. This SPG has a very powerful cannon that can take down anything even at 3.0. It is very survivable regardless of having no armor. However, it is not very agile and you can carry only 8 rounds, but you can make up for it with the ammo crate. It is a pretty great tank destroyer. A tier. The Lorraine 37L. This SPG also packs a powerful gun with impressive penetration, making it ideal for sniping tanks from a distance. The round has no HE filler though, but it's fine with the fast reload. A tier. The German Panzerjäger 1. This thing is also very capable of taking down tanks. I even used it at 6.0 and it was very awesome. Just like the previous SPGs, Panzerjäger is very weak to SPAs and casts, so everything can destroy it with ease. A tier. The STKFZ251/9. It's another half-track tank destroyer with the usual mobility issue. While the IPHE round underperforms, the heat round helps balance things out, despite the sluggish shell speed. C tier. The first American tank destroyer on this list is the M8 HMC. It's quick, reloads fast, and has a 50 cal for extra spice. But that turret moves like it's underwater. It's a solid early pick, but it does struggle sometimes. C tier. The BM8-24. Why is this thing in the game? I don't know. It's pretty useless. The rockets are weak and only work on open top vehicles and SPAs. F tier. The Alecto 1. It is the first British tank destroyer in the game, and honestly, it looks like someone forgot to put a roof on it. It packs a punch and is very fast and tiny, so you can be very sneaky. And you have to be very sneaky with this thing. You barely have any armor, and the reload is very long for 1.0. C tier. The SAU-40. This is one of the first tank destroyers in the game to have a thick frontal armor. It has a good cannon and with a decent reload, but despite the armor it can be pretty easy to kill, especially with how slow it is. B tier. The M3 GMC. This fast American half-track has a strong 75 cannon with a great APHE round, making it perfect for long range. While its armor is paper thin, it can still hold up against solid shots sometimes. B tier. Moving up to 2.0, we have 14 tanks with various capabilities. The SDKFZ-234/3. Unlike the half-track tank destroyers, this one has wheels, making it very fast and agile. It fires a powerful heat round with a quick reload, but it's held back by its weak armor, so B tier. The Su-76M. It has a powerful cannon with a variety of shells and a fast reload to keep it going. However, it's pretty slow and the armor is pretty terrible. B tier. It is also a premium variant in the SU-76M. That is pretty similar, so B tier as well. The 15cm Panzerjäger 42. This is another half-track that's not very effective. It can overpressure light tanks on open top vehicles, but can do nothing to everything else, and is very easy to take down. F tier. The Marder 3. Now this is something good. It has a powerful cannon that can one-shot most tanks, and despite having no armor, it can be pretty survivable if you don't carry too much ammo. A tier. The StuG 3A. This tank destroyer is very fast and agile. It has a weak APHE that can work on light tanks, but the heat shell is more effective. The armor is okay, but a skilled player won't struggle with it. B tier. The Gv.Kav.Corps StuH. This amphibious tank destroyer has a very powerful cannon and take a hit despite having a thin armor. However, it can be easily taken down with 50 cal or any SPA, and the bad gun depression makes it hard to hide its gigantic hull. A tier. The SU-57. This Soviet half-track is pretty similar to the American M3 GMC. It comes with a great cannon with a fast reload and great mobility, and just like the M3, the armor is unreliable. B tier. The SU-76D. This little bug has a powerful cannon with a bunch of good shells, but the reload is long compared to everything else at its BR. C tier. The ZIS-30. It is basically an SU-51 on steroids. Now you can carry more ammo, and the mobility makes it easier to turn and aim the cannon quickly. It is pretty wobbly though, and anything can destroy it, and at the same time it can be very survivable at times. No armor is best armor sometimes. A tier. The Archer. I don't like this thing at all. The cannon is very powerful, but it is backwards, so if you're driving and you see the enemy, you gotta ask them to wait for you to turn and aim your gun and try to take them down. It's very impractical. F tier. Bruh, another abomination. The BM-13N Katyusha. This truck carries 16 rockets that can overpressure most tanks you face, but anything can destroy it with ease. It sucks at close range, and it also has controlled suspension, but it's not that useful. F tier. The SU-122. This is another tank destroyer equipped with a solid cannon that fires heat shells. The armor is pretty good as well, and it is very fast and agile. However, the reload is very long and the heat shells don't work sometimes. And you don't have a machine gun to clear obstacles for a tank that uses heat. B tier. The SU-57B. This is another Beetle with a powerful cannon, fast reload, and a decent mobility, but the weak armor and bad gun depression really hold it back. C tier. Honorable mentions. The HS-129B3, the Ducky. This plane is so awesome, it is very fun and really satisfying to use. It has a 75 cannon that can delete most tanks with one shot. Even at 7.3, this thing keeps shredding like it's 2.0. S tier for sure. Next up, 3.0, like and subscribe. The Marder 3H. This German SPG is pretty deadly. The cannon is powerful and can pen anything you face. It has an okay mobility, but the armor is pretty unreliable, especially against SPAs and American tanks with their 50 cal. B tier. The SDKFZ 251/22. It has the same cannon as the Marder 3, powerful and very effective. It is fast, but it is a half-track after all, and the armor is pretty useless. C tier. The Sturm Hobbits 42G. This tank destroyer comes with a strong frontal armor and is very hard to kill for an experienced player. And it's just like the StuG 3A, it has a weak APHE and a good heat shell to make up for it. B tier. The StuG 3F. Unlike the previous tank destroyer, this one has a great APHE shell. The armor is pretty weak, so you gotta hide and make use of the smoke grenades. B tier. The 3-inch gun carrier. This is a very capable tank destroyer with a tough armor that is much tougher when angled. The cannon is capable of taking down anything you face, but it is very slow, so it struggles with flanking and the lack of HE filler can be annoying sometimes, but it is still a great tank destroyer. A tier. The M10 GMC. This tank destroyer is like a sniper. It is fast and comes with a powerful 76 cannon firing APHE, and it also comes with a 50 cal on top, so you can defend it from planes and light tanks. However, the turret rotation is very annoying, so if you get flanked, you're done.
Huh?
A tier. There is also the M10 GMC on the French tree, but it's the same as the American one, so A tier as well. The Achilles. It is the British version of the American M10 tank destroyer. It's similar overall, but it comes with a different gun that trades HE filler for a better penetration. A tier. There is also the Achilles 65th Regiment, which is the premium version of the regular Achilles with no differences, so A tier as well. We have another Soviet truck, the Yak-1029K. This tank destroyer was meant for anti-air purposes, but in-game it's not that great at taking down planes. The cannon is effective against tanks, but it's not made for close range with how easy it is to take down. D tier. Last at 3.7 we have the Dicker Max. It is an SPG that packs a punch with its APHE shell that is very amazing at long range. The gun depression is also great to keep it concealed while you take down your targets. However, it's very slow and very vulnerable, so anything can kill you. B tier. At 4.0 we begin to see tank destroyers that are much tougher and more lethal. The M44. The HE shell on this SPG can overpressure most enemies with ease. It does take a while to reload and the armor is pretty thin, but it is very fast and agile, so you can get good games with it. I even tried using it in up tiers and it was very fun to take out tanks that are much harder to kill with APHE. S tier for sure. The StuH ML is basically a Dicker Max that hit the gym. The 128 cannon can erase anything, even in up tiers. It's great for long range sniping with its APHE and gun depression. Just be ready to suffer through the slow speed, weak armor and the kind of reload that gives you time to make coffee. B tier. The 88 Flak 37 SFL. The Flak bust comes with a good cannon and is very fast, but it's a half track so don't expect good mobility. And despite having anti-air HE rounds, it is very difficult to hit planes with it. C tier. The StuG 3G. This tank destroyer combines the armor of the Sturmhaubitze 42G and the cannon of the StuG 3F. It is very strong and hard to kill head on, but the paper thin roof and side armor compromise its survivability. A tier. The BM3112. Here is another truck that is more useless than the last one. It is very fast and carries powerful rockets that are very inaccurate and hard to aim. Moreover, the lack of armor makes it a free kill for everybody. F tier. The SU-85A. This SPG is an SU-76M with improved firepower and mobility and additional shells like the FPCR for more penetration. But just like the SU-76M, it has a weak armor and a slow reverse speed. B tier. Back to the French tree with the Lorraine 155. This thing is similar to the M44, but it is not as good. The cannon is powerful and it is very fast, but it also takes very long to reload and you have no armor or reverse speed to protect you while reloading. It also has a 20mm MG at the top that is not that great. D tier. The Panzer 38. This tank destroyer has a great cannon and a strong frontal armor that can bounce most shots. The roof and sides are made with paper though. Gas, small bombs, MGs, basically anything can kill this thing, but it's pretty great if you know how to play with it. B tier. The Panzer IV. This tank destroyer is pretty similar to the Hetzer, but the armor on the sides is a bit better and the frontal armor is improved with add-on tracks. A tier. The Panzer IV 70A. This rare tank destroyer is very unusual. It has a very powerful cannon, but the armor is not that great due to the flat areas at the front, which reduces its chances of surviving a hit. C tier. The Broombar. This SPG packs powerful HE and heat rounds with a lot of damage. The shells are very slow and the reload is pretty long, but the armor is pretty reliable as long as the enemy doesn't target the hull. B tier. The very fast T-55E1. This 8x8 tank destroyer is very fast and agile. The cannon is pretty good so you can flank everybody. It doesn't have any armor though, so it's pretty weak, but it's fun to play with. B tier. The ASU-57. This weak piece of shit is very annoying. Whenever I spot it, I find it trying to flank me, and when I play it, this thing gets blown up by anything, so it's so terrible. D tier. The KV-7U13. This moving bunker is very strong. It has 3 cannons with decent penetration that can sometimes struggle with well-armored tanks. It is pretty similar to the Jumbo 75 in that way. B tier. The SU-85. The Soviets have so many tank destroyers. This one has a good cannon and is very fast, but the armor is very weak. And you don't get APCR, so it struggles sometimes. B tier. The SU-152. This thing is like a nuke cannon. It is very powerful and the APHE is very full of HE, so it can be a nightmare to face. However, the reload is painfully slow and the armor can't be trusted to protect you while you wait. C tier. The ISU-152. This is an improved version of the SU-152. It gets a better armor, an additional heat shell, and a StuG MG on top. It is slower than the SU-152, but the additional armor is worth it. B tier. The SU-100Y. This is a uniquely shaped tank destroyer that fires a powerful sap shell capable of penetrating and overpressuring enemy tanks. It is very effective at long range. However, it suffers from a very long reload and the armor is only reliable when facing the enemy. Look away and you're done. B tier. StuG.Kav.Corps. This thing is so fast, 9 km per hour is crazy. And the reload speed is great, making it a dangerous combination. It has a pretty weak armor, but it's fine when you have a great mobility. A tier. At 5.0, tank destroyers are much more scarier, with stronger cannons that can erase tanks in a single hit. The SU-85M. This is an SU-85 with improved armor and an additional APCR shell for more penetration. Despite the armor upgrade, it can be easily penetrated with strong cannons, and there are 2 weak spots that make it much easier to destroy. B tier. The SU-122P. This is a similar tank destroyer to the SU-85M, but with a much powerful cannon and a very long reload. The armor is the same, and it has the same weak spots as the SU-85M. B tier as well. The ISU-122. This tank destroyer hits hard with a strong APHE shell, and its armor offers some decent protection sometimes. Plus it's got good reverse speed, so you can back off quickly after firing since the reload takes forever. B tier. The ISU-122S. This is basically an improved variant of the ISU-122. It's got a faster reload by around 6 seconds and a slightly better zoom. It also has 1 less crew member, but it's pretty solid. A tier. The QF-3.7 Ram. This British SPG has no armor but packs a powerful cannon with a quick reload. It can penetrate anything at 5.0, but the lack of HE filler can be frustrating sometimes. B tier. The M36 GMC. The M10 was good, and this is the upgrade it needed. It gets an improved cannon, and the turret rotation is much faster now. It still has the same weak armor and terrible reverse speed, but it is very fun to play with. A tier. The M36B2. This is an improved M36 with a slightly faster reload and an additional heat FS round, allowing it to kill tanks even in up tiers. Nothing changes with the armor and the reverse speed, but the acceleration is worse compared to the M36. I made a video about this tank where I destroyed much powerful tanks like the Mouse, IS-4, IS-3. It's very awesome. A tier. There is also the French M36B2, which is the same as the US variant, so A tier as well. The Panzer 470. This German tank destroyer is pretty solid. It's got a strong cannon and a great frontal armor, so enemies will have a hard time taking you out. It even gets an APCR shell for extra pen in up tiers, but the armor doesn't hold up well against stronger cannons. A tier. The Sturm Tiger. This is basically a nuke on tracks. Nothing is safe from it. It has a very long reload, but the armor does a good job at keeping it alive as long as you don't get shot in the hull or the barrel. B tier. The VFW. This German SPG trades armor for mobility, and it's pretty great. The cannon is powerful with a very fast reload, and it is very fast so you can flank with it effectively. The reverse speed sucks, and it's pretty fragile, especially when you pull the side skirts up. It's much more survivable with them down. A tier. The Nashorn. This SPG really struggles. It's packing a powerful cannon with decent reload, but the armor is super weak and the gun depression sucks. That makes it hard to take on enemies directly, especially on uneven terrain. You'll have to rely on positioning and flanking to make the most of it, because standing in the open is a quick way to get sent back to the hangar. C tier. The Waffenträger. I prefer the Waffle Tractor over the Nashorn. It has the same cannon with a slightly longer reload. I like the low profile, but you can't take full advantage of it due to the mediocre mobility and the terrible gun depression. B tier. I love 6.0. There is a great mix of tank destroyers, and it's just a fun tier overall. The ELC Beasts. This French roach doesn't have much armor, but it makes up for it with speed and a low profile that helps you sneak around. It's super fun to play with, and those HFS shells mean you can delete tanks at any range. The only downside is the limited turret rotation, but overall, it's amazing. I love this tank. S tier. The CA Lorraine. This is yet another impressive French tank destroyer that stands out for its deadly cannon, even though it doesn't have any HE filler. What really makes it fun to play is its excellent mobility. It's fast, super agile, and the low profile definitely helps you stay alive longer by making it harder for the enemies to see you. The armor itself is nothing special and won't save you in most cases, but thanks to its speed and size, it's actually more survivable than you would expect. S tier. The M109A1. This SPA is awesome for overpressuring tanks. The armor is super thin, but it does hold up against solid shots. However, it can still be easily shredded by SPA and CAS. The turret has a slow rotation and the reload takes a while, but hitting planes with it is very fun and satisfying. A tier. There is also the British M109 and the German variant with a small caliber MG instead of the 50 cal. The 2S1. This Soviet SPG can fire both HE and HFS, and it can take down planes too, just not as well as the M109. It's really fast, but the turret rotation is kinda slow, and the lack of a machine gun is a big downside for something that fires HE and heat. B tier. The 2S3M. The Soviet SPG is similar to the 2S1, but it fires HE and heat instead of HFS. It's fast and has a dozer blade for digging trenches, which helps with the bad gun depression. The reload is way longer and it can shoot APHE shells, but it doesn't do much at 6.3. B tier. The SU-100. This is basically an upgunned SU-85M with a great APHE round and a really good speed. The armor is not as strong and it still has the same weak spots, the cupola and the driver port. C tier. The ISU-85. This SPG is pretty decent. It's got a strong cannon that fires HFS and reloads fast. The mobility is alright, but the armor is unreliable. C tier. The SU-100P. Now this is an awesome Soviet tank destroyer. I really like this thing. It's powerful, very fast, and it's very survivable despite having no armor. The only thing that annoys me about it is the limited turret rotation, which makes it hard to fully take advantage of its mobility. A tier. The SU-122-54. This tank destroyer comes with a strong cannon that can fire APHE, APDS and HFS shells, plus it's got two 14.5 MGs. The reload takes some time and the armor is decent, but it's pretty easy to destroy if you know where to aim. A tier. The Jagdpanzer 4.5. This is one of the most fun tank destroyers in the German tree. The gun is very powerful with great gunner optics and a fast reload. It's very fast and agile with a reverse gearbox, smoke grenades, and a decent gun depression. However, it's got a weak armor and the transmission is at the front, so once that gets hit, you're done. But I really like this thing and I had so much fun with it. S tier. The Jagdpanther G1. This is another great German tank destroyer with a powerful cannon and a strong, well-angled frontal armor, making it very survivable. It's weak to flanking and struggles against heat and HFS, but it's pretty great. A tier. There is also the premium Jagdpanther that is the commander version of the regular Jagdpanther but is otherwise identical with no differences, so A tier as well. The Ferdinand. This tank destroyer has the same long 88 cannon as the Jagdpanther and the reload is faster than most tanks at 6.7. He has a strong armor and is hard to over pressure, but he can be very weak to flanking. It's not very fast, but he has a good reverse speed. A tier. There is also the Elephant, which has an additional MG at the hull and some extra armor. Other than that, it's the same, A tier as well. Gv.Kav.Corps. This thing is a nightmare to face. It has a very powerful cannon that you can hardly survive. It has a very long reload, but the armor is pretty great at keeping the enemy busy while you reload. It is weak to flanking, but good luck trying to punch through its armor with AP from long range. A tier. The Gv.Kav.Corps. This boomstick has one of the strongest hash rounds in the game that can delete any tank with a single shot. It is very powerful, so you just point, click, and boom. The reload takes forever, and the large size and weak armor makes it an easy target for most tanks. On top of that, the turret rotation is limited and it's pretty slow, so it's not very survivable. B tier. The G6 Rhino. This British SPA fires a massive HE round packed with a ton of explosive filler. The armor is pretty thin, which actually helps it survive against APHE and AP rounds. The reload is very slow, and while it can shoot down planes, that only works if they are flying straight at you. It's really fast in a straight line, but the G6 struggles with turning, and the limited turret rotation can make it a bit of a pain to use sometimes. I don't usually attack players that get a nuke in the game, but I tried to clutch this game for the team and I shot it with the G6 and it was pretty awesome, but the team lost anyway. B tier. The Tortoise. This British two-tail surprised me. It has solid firepower and a fast reload. 10 seconds is much quicker than most tanks at 6.7. The armor is great, you can still get flanked or taken out by a skilled player, but it holds up well. It's slow, but the reverse gearbox and the smoke grenades help increase its survivability. A tier. The M56 Scorpion. This ratty tank destroyer is seriously annoying. It always seems to pop out of nowhere and take me out. It's got a solid cannon with a nice variety of shells. The reload is fast and it's quick and agile with a low profile, which makes it great for flanking. It's got no armor though, so pretty much anything can take it out. A tier. The M50 Ontos. Now this is a really unique tank destroyer. With 6 recoilless rifles, you can pop out of nowhere and just spam the enemy until they're gone. It's pretty goofy, but I made a video about it and I had a lot of fun with it. Honestly, I think it's a nightmare for tanks like the Maus, IS-4M and every heavy tank. It's got a paper armor, but with a bit of practice, it can be both fun and surprisingly effective. A tier. The T-28. Everybody knows the T-95 and how tough it is. But the T-28 is a different story. Yeah, it's got a strong cannon and solid frontal armor, but overall it's pretty weak. It's super slow, so if you get flanked, you're not gonna be able to turn in time. And the side armor doesn't hold up well, and you can easily take it out through the front from the cupolas. F tier. At 7.0, most tank destroyers are pretty similar with a few unique designs. The T-95. This American super heavy tank is a big step up from the T-28. It's got a solid cannon and is much harder to take out thanks to the stronger side armor. So even if you get flanked, you've still got a fighting chance. However, the cupolas are still a weak spot, but most players don't know that they are a weak spot, so you're safe for the most part. A tier. The Conway. This thing packs solid firepower with 500 mils of penetration, so it can pen just about any tank you face. It's awesome at long range, but with its large turrets and weak armor combined with a slow reload, it often doesn't last long. C tier. The AMX-50 Foch. This French two-tail has a robust frontal armor along with a powerful cannon that fires solid AP shells. The reload time is long and the thin armor makes it weak to cast, flanking and SPA. It also got a 20mm MG at the top, and of course it has the cupola weak spot. B tier. The AMX-10M. Unlike the AMX-50, this unique tank destroyer has no significant armor, but it fires an ATGM that no tank can survive. It is very fast and agile, and is very great at long range. You can also fire the ATGM while staying hidden, which makes it really fun to use and great for picking off enemies from a distance. S tier. The AUF-1. This French SPA is similar to the M109, but it has a much faster reload thanks to its autoloader.
Oh my god!
It's pretty fun to use against both planes and tanks and can be very effective. However, its big profile and slow shell velocity can be a problem. The turret turns slowly, but I usually make up for that by rotating the whole tank. B tier. Due to S19M1. This SPA can fire HE, APHE and heat rounds, but it's already effective with HE. Its high shell velocity really helps, especially at 7.0, where jets become more common. It's equipped with an autoloader, has decent mobility, and can dig trenches to help conceal the gigantic turret. On top of that, it has smoke grenades and can deploy a smoke screen for cover. The main downside is its poor reverse speed, which can be a problem when trying to retreat. A tier. There is also the 2S19M2, which is basically a 2S19M1 but with a better acceleration and a faster reload. A tier as well. The Object 268. The Object 268 is a heavy-hitting Soviet tank destroyer with a powerful cannon and strong frontal armor that can shrug off most solid shots, unless you aim for the weak spots. It also comes equipped with a 14.5 mg for light targets, however it has a slow reload and is vulnerable to flanking and heat FS rounds, which can easily go through its armor. A tier. The Panzerjäger 2000. This German SPA is simply excellent. Armed with a strong HE shell and a fast reload, it's fast, agile, and is very good at taking down planes. It also holds up well against solid shots, making it more survivable than you would expect. The only drawback is the slow turret rotation, but you can easily compensate for that by turning the whole tank. S tier for sure. Honorable mentions. The ZSU 57-2. This SPA is just awesome. You can easily take down planes and tanks, and it's great for wiping out groups of players fast. Honestly, I've probably killed more tanks than planes with it. It's super fun to use and definitely deserves the S tier spot. This is the final tier list. Let me know in the comments what you think, and like and subscribe.